Your website's neuropuncture.org.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
was just going over this with my banker the other day, or my new accountant. Neuropuncture.org, neuropuncture at Gmail, neuropuncture Inc. I try to keep it consistent.
Sandra,
You
you
can
ready?
go for it. Yeah, you can go for it if you want. Yeah.
All right, we're going to start. I'm going to do a countdown to help you guys with editing, all right? And thanks for the early birds that are on here. 3, 2, and 1. Hi, my name is Lauren Brown. I'm a doctor of traditional Chinese medicine. My practice is in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. It's called AcuBalance Wellness Center, acubalance.ca. I'm one of your moderators today. Also, you'll be hearing from Sandro. He's also an acupuncturist and a fellow of the American Board of Oriental Reproductive Medicine, and he's moderating in from Dublin, Ireland. I just want to do a little bit of housekeeping and then introduce our topic today and our speaker. So you're watching basically a neuropuncture course by Dr. Mike Corradino. I'll say that right off the bat, and then I'll go back to that just in case that's not what you thought you're watching. For continuing education credits to get your certificate, please note you need to do the following. If you're watching this as a live webinar, you need to say hi in attendance. So you can do that now, and you need to do that each time we come back from our break. If you're watching this from a recording, obviously there's no attendance necessary. Regardless whether you're doing this as a live webinar or as a recording, we need you to watch the course in its entirety. There's 5 short answer questions. It's called the worksheet. You can look at that now, actually, and you can fill out those 5 short answer questions. Once you've completed those 5 short answer questions, then the link for the quiz is available for you as well. The quiz is 10 multiple choice questions. A pass is 70%, and you have 2 tries. If you need a 3rd or more tries, just email us at Healthy Seminars. We'll be happy to give you another attempt. But keep this in mind, it's open book. So you have your handouts, the notes that you would have taken on your handouts, plus the recording to go back to. So it is definitely easy to pass because it's open book. And again, it's 10 multiple choice, pass is 70%. The last step to get your certificate for this course, again, you need to watch the course in its entirety. You need to fill out those 5 short answer questions called the worksheet. You need to pass the multiple choice, which is 70%. Then there's a feedback form, or the program evaluation, also known as, and that's required by the regulatory bodies. And what we've done with our feedback form, the program evaluation, is the way you type your name is how it will appear on the certificate. And there's also a space for license numbers, because some regulatory bodies like the California Acupuncture Board and others want your license number on the certificate. So where it says license number, put your certificate, your license number. And if you have more than one, some of you are regulated with California and also NCCOM or with Florida, you can please put actually all your license numbers. Just separate it with a semicolon or a colon, and that way you download and print your certificate as many times as you need for those different regulatory bodies. If you are from Florida, when you're doing your program evaluation, there is a spot to check off for Florida, so we know to submit this to the CE brokers. So that's how you get your certificate of completion. And that gets downloaded automatically. We don't email it. It gets downloaded automatically in your healthyseminars.com account. So our speaker today is Dr. Mike Corradino. He's the author of Neuropuncture, a clinical handbook of neuroscience, of acupuncture. He has a whole mentorship program. You can check that out, and his cadaver labs that he does at neuropuncture.org. And he has several modules, over 10 of neuropuncture on healthyseminars.com that are available now on demand. So please do check that out on healthyseminars.com. And we've created a couple of clips from his lectures. I think there's 3 or 4 on healthyseminars.com/neuropuncture, where there's these 3 to 5 minute clips where Mike is talking about how acupuncture works, so you can explain this with confidence to the public and other healthcare providers. So it's no longer does it work, it's yet yes, it does work. And here's the biomechanism, here's the data, the proof to show you that it's doing something to your body on a physiological level. Our topic today is neuropuncture and the treatment of neurodegenerative diseases. In this webinar, Dr. Corradino will illustrate and explain the neuroanatomy and neurophysiological mechanisms of body electrical acupuncture, also known as EA, and how to apply this knowledge to the treatment of neurodegenerative disorders. Understanding and applying neuroscience to acupuncture will help maximize your acupuncture benefit. Electrical acupuncture, EA, is an excellent way to target specific receptors for the maximum release of neuropeptides for cerebral rehabilitation and neural synaptic repair. So EN will be the focus of this of stimulation for specific neuropuncture point prescriptions, and will be thoroughly explained for every condition that he's going to talk about today, including the Western medical neurobiology of the medical condition, clinical application of the neuropuncture trinity, neuropuncture treatment prescriptions with electrical stimulation techniques, and treatment plans and lifestyle recommendations will also be discussed. The objectives are you're going to learn how to confidently treat neurodegenerative conditions utilizing the patented neuropuncture trinity. You'll also learn the neurobiology of the top 4 major neurodegenerative diseases and how that relates to the neurophysiology of acupuncture, Alzheimer's disease and dementia, ALS and motor neuron diseases, Parkinson's, and multiple sclerosis. Just a quick understanding about the disclaimer here. This is for educational purposes only. This is not meant to be medical advice or to treat a medical condition. So if you have a health condition, you need to seek out a healthcare provider. Again, this is for continuing education purposes only. For those that are watching this as a live webinar, please post your questions in the chat and the Q&A during the lecture, and our moderators will get to those and ask those on your behalf to Michael Corradino during the live webinar. Remember, whether you bought this on demand or the live webinar, the recording and handouts are in your account. And without further ado, I give you Dr. Mike Corradino.
Thank you very much, Dr. Lauren Brown. It is my pleasure to be here, and welcome everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to some of you, and thank you for your attendance. I appreciate your commitment, and that is my best. It is going to be my best job to give you most committed exploration into the neurodegenerative diseases and the treatment through neuropuncture. So there's the disclaimer. Okay, cool. So let's skip through there. Perfect. Okay, so just to be mindful, this stuff is my work is copyrighted, trademark, and patent pending today, and all this stuff has been designed personally by myself. Okay, there is a NeuroLab online training platform and a membership base for certification. So if you enjoy this material, this content, and this is something that you're interested in, if you want to learn a deeper understanding of the neurophysiology of acupuncture, how to modify the nervous system through electricity, through a plethora of medical applications from mental health to orthopedics, pain management, and internal medicine, then that's where you can complete some further training with me. Okay. So let me just move this somewhere else. I'm going to put that right there. Perfect. All right. So today's topic, neurodegenerative diseases. This is a serious topic in the world to date. We are extending our life expectancy on the planet, and with that comes along with higher rates of disease. And as our nervous system ages, it is just a biological fact and a fact of physics that things tend to break down. And the older we get, the more diseases that we become potentially liable for. And neurodegenerative definitely happens to be a real big topic globally. So what are neurodegenerative diseases? Neurodegenerative diseases simply is the progressive loss of structure, but also function of the actual neurons themselves. That includes the death of those neurons. The number of patients globally that I've statistically just researched for this webinar reaches to about 1 billion. So 1 million people around the world today are grouped in this category that are suffering from neurodegenerative diseases. Now that does not fall into some of the neurodegenerative disease that we're discussing today. That also envelopes things such as stroke, migraines, and other conditions such as that. But today we're going to really pick up these 3 main topics, because this is what I've had success with treating, and this is what I've seen a lot of practitioners ask and require or request some information on. Statistically, again, what we're seeing is there's about 6.8 million people die every year due to neurodegenerative diseases. So it is definitely a serious concern for us in the world. And then the cost effect of that, in Europe alone, it's about 139 billion, billion euros a year. So I know this webinar and this information gets spread out throughout the whole world. So I tried to keep it on a global statistical, information, but some of the stuff obviously is from American statistics as well. But that particularly number does come from a global account, specifically Europe, and it's 139 billion euros a year is spent on neurodegenerative diseases. Now, we also know that there is a massive impact on those neurodegenerative diseases on the social, economic aspects of family members, as well as a lot of other areas that it impacts. But financially, again, just in Europe, it's 139 billion with a B. And we know that the euro is stronger than the dollar. So when we look at dollars, that's probably close to almost 200 billion for American. So we're going to look at dementia, Alzheimer's, right? We're going to look at what dementia kind of looks like, okay? Because that can fit into multiple different neurodegenerative diseases. But it is something that people are suffering from. Again, it's extremely detrimental as well as very emotionally impacted by the families. And it is the #1 disease or neurodegenerative condition that people are suffering from right now. And then we have Parkinson's and then multiple sclerosis. And if you are familiar with multiple sclerosis, you know that what? It's not actually it's not actually a neurodegenerative disease. It's actually an autoimmune condition. But it does create a neurodegenerative effect on the body. And it does wind up deteriorating the nervous system and obviously impacting the nervous system. So we're going to look at those three specifically. And I have some just phenomenal treatments that are evidence-based, clinically clinically confirmed, and research supported. And that's what neuropuncture is all about.